Welcome back to part 3 with me, Jeff, and Danny, the paramedic.
Thank you.
So, here we go, the pandemic or the plandemic, the conspiracies. Where do you think, well, tell me about your views on the pandemic.
It's definitely here, isn't it? It's definitely here. I've had COVID. I was unwell for a few days. I can remember the patient that gave me it. It was.
So you were tested for COVID instead of COVID?
Yeah. Back in nearly 12 months ago now I had it. Plus, I mean, I've had my vaccination obviously with work, but in work we'll get memos usually like swine flu and SARS and things like that. We'll get memos through about them and just get left on a desk and you read them and all this and you think nothing of it really because they're there all the time. And then there was this COVID one and it was on the news when this thing in Wuhan in China, and then again got a memo on the desk and just have a cup of tea and watch a bit of telly, off we go. And you just thought nothing of it, and then cases start popping up and all the crews start talking about it, and then in the space of probably 2, 3, 4 weeks, you started to see people with it, and really unwell people. It took people. Like I said before, it's quite interesting the way it works. The virus that you're walking around asymptomatic, you feel fine, but you're massively contagious. That's the issue in itself.
This is why Boris and say like, get behind your door. This is serious.
Yeah, it's like you said before, it's kind of like the perfect weapon, isn't it? You walk around spreading it around, and you hence all the conspiracy theories. Is it man-made? Is it? If it is, it's here. That's what you've got to realise. It is here. I've seen like COVID deniers and people saying it's not real, but it is real. Believe me.
So, just talk about when you said you've had COVID.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So I was on the rapid response car, and you only go to the highest category job, but occasionally they'll pass you one of the lower category ones just to sort of go and get rid of it off the screen. And there was a dementia patient who'd just fallen in his bedroom, little tiny bedroom. Went in, given him a once over. And this was that point where the memo's on the table, you know what I mean? Okay. Not long after that. And there'd been a breakout of this COVID on a ward in a hospital in Manchester called Wythenshawe, which is kind of one of the central hospitals around where I work. And I goes in this nursing home in Stockport, and this old fella, dementia, and he don't know what day it is, this lad, he don't know I'm there, he don't know nothing, he's got a bump in his head, just giving him a once over. His temperature, a bit warm, his heart rate's a bit high, and he's just sat there like that. I didn't have a mask on. Wow. It wasn't mandatory then.
Mandatory, yeah.
Yeah, and all of this, I'm in this tiny room with him where he's been for days. Speak to the staff. How long he's been here? Oh, he got transferred off F5 in Wythenshawe, where this outbreak was yesterday. And I'm thinking, I just thought, boys.
Straight to like a little trigger thing.
It just goes all of a sudden and crept in. Like, oh. But then again, for a week after that, I felt right as rain. And
you were still working, so you...
Still working, yeah. You just didn't think.
So just stop there. So you now just say this is what's happened. As soon as he's coughed, that virus, you've breathed into your airways. Is that straight in then? Is that?
I'm in a room. I'm in a tiny room with this fella who's just spewing it out. It's all around the room. Yeah. It's on the surfaces. It's everywhere.
So
I've got gloves on.
You've got gloves on, but you've coughed, you've breathed in.
Yeah.
It's airborne. So
it's in there.
Just tell the viewers. So if that virus then, because you breathed it in, what happens then? What does the virus do?
It's just it gets into your blood, doesn't it? Starts to affect you. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Probably worked for maybe another week, and then maybe at the tail end of that week, sort of my working week was finishing on like a Tuesday, maybe Tuesday day, just like a little bit achy and a little achy in the fingers, a little bit, but not, just think you're tired. Just like, I'm just tired. Been working 12-hour days, up at 5 every morning, just tired. Next day, feel a bit off, feel a bit rough. Yeah, day after that, coughing, pumping sweat. throwing paracetamol down my neck and lager, cans of lager. I'd recently been through a divorce and wasn't in the best place mentally, and had a few drinks, and then, but yeah, just this hot, dead dry cough up here, you know, not chesty or anything, just here.
Just in your throat. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 or 4 days. It's not. It's strange. Most of the people I've seen who are seriously ill are from ethnic minorities, Asian, black communities. They're getting really unwell with it. Sort of Caribbean people, African, Middle Eastern, Asian. They're the people that are getting really unwell with it. You know, the Chinese lady walked onto the ambulance. She said goodbye to her husband. He was an English fella. Yeah. I said to him, have 10 minutes and say bye to her. And he knew. I don't know whether she knew, but she was, her observations, you know, her heart rates and her oxygen saturations and everything, they were that bad. But she's still walking around. That's the bizarre thing about it. She died a couple of days later.
God bless her. Straight in there, so you've got the COVID. Just remind me, so you've gone into the hospital not knowing that you've had it. Say for instance, and you're saying, so what you're saying is you've contracted from that fella. You go into the hospital 3 or 4 days into work and you're coughing and spreading. That's how deadly it is.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You know, that time where I'm most contagious, I feel absolutely fine. I've not got a cough. I'm walking around as if you're like 10 men, having a great time, laughing and joking, talking to you. But every time I talk, I breathe. And you know, I touch the table. It's on the table. You know, and that's
you go to supermarkets.
Yeah, that's why it spread so quickly, and that's why it was so hard to sort of nail down. Because if you got ill on day one, if this made you ill on day one, we wouldn't be in this situation now. There wouldn't be lockdowns, because what you do when you feel rough, you go to bed. Yeah. Everyone would just go to bed, and that would be it. It would have been done. But the fact that it's just spread, and it is killing people. I mean, what, 56, 60 million in this country, 100,000 deaths. You know, at the start of this, if you were to say it's going to kill 1 in every 550 people, you know, and if you think of that, if you live on a big road or a big street, you've probably got 1,000, 1,500 people live on your street. Yeah. So, you know, it's going to kill 3 people on your street. Because that's effectively where we are with it now.
Wow, so straight away, did you see the, once you knew this was real, what was the training that you got?
Obviously it was a new virus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it affects the lungs, basically clogs the lungs up, worst case, moves from this dry cough down into your lungs, stops them functioning, something called consolidation, just spots of nastiness on your lungs, stops them working, drops your oxygen saturations down. So we just be giving oxygen to people, really, gives you a temperature, give them paracetamol. So yeah, we'll just be giving oxygen to people, really. But quite soon it was obvious who was really ill, and we'd leave people at home as well. You know what I mean? You go out to people. This is early days before testing ramped up. That you go, yeah, you've got it. Stay at home, you'll be all right. But then you were going out to people, and you know, you're like, you're gonna have to come with me. You're gonna have to go in. But they developed different treatments, didn't they? Steroids, dextromethasone, things, all these new drugs that they're given, because it's a brand new thing. They're still working on it, aren't they? But I mean, we had different training. I can't really go into the be all and end all, but there was a period where we were leaving people at home to die with it.
And did you knew that, you thought, oh, yeah.
I did 3 or 4 in one night. I left knowing full well that they probably wouldn't live for another day. We moved them on to what's called end of life care.
Do you think we'll ever get rid of this pandemic?
Yeah, I think we'll come out with it. I do think we'll come out. I think, you know, purely the economy, we need to come out of it, don't we? We need to get things moving again. Will COVID always be here? Yeah, it will.
You've seen different strains, like the avian flu, you know, something like an outbreak in Russia now, and this virus mutates. So the vaccine that you're being given,
Stunned a bit.
yeah.
I mean, that's
all the rumours against it. You know, don't get the vaccine. What would you say to that?
Just stop watching YouTube. Just get it. It does. If you know, it's like Russian roulette, isn't it? Would you rather stick a gun at your head with 1 bullet in or 10? Have a vaccine, will take 9 bullets out. You know, think of it like that. I'm gonna give you this, and it's potentially gonna help you. If everyone's entitled to an opinion, if you don't want it, don't get it. Personally, I would say get it. Okay. It's as simple as that.
No, that's it. That's your opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on the front line. Yeah. You need to get it anyway because you think, well.
Yeah, I mean, we can refuse it. I know, but you know, potentially, there's this virus that could kill you. This vaccine will help you, and you won't suffer as badly if you catch it. Yeah, I'll have it. Thanks. I'm not gonna charge you for it. It's free, bro. I'll have it.
Yeah, because all these conspiracies, it's got nanochips, it changes your DNA. Yeah. It's going to cause, with the G5 towers,
it's good, isn't it?
We're going to get frazzled.
It's good, isn't it?
You know,
asteroid impact next for me. That's what happened. Alien invasion. Don't just wait for that. That'll be next year. But yeah, sometimes in society you have to put your faith in people who are a lot cleverer than you, and people who sit on Facebook and YouTube aren't cleverer than immunologists and virologists and doctors. You know, you have to kind of bow down and say, yeah, you're cleverer than me. You've designed this. I'll have it. Thanks.
That's brilliant. I hope that inspires a lot of people who are probably sitting on the fence.
Yeah, there are a
few.
With
the vaccine.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I was the biggest conspiracy theorist when it first started. You know? I just wanted to go all against it, and I thought, this is what's happening. This is a big. But after seeing friends contract it, and you know, there was people that we lost, and I thought, wow, time to knuckle down and listen. You know, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the lockdown. It's been hard for people, and you know, suicide rates have gone through the roof. People losing businesses, marriages, you know, homes. They're not good times. It will end. Things will get better. You know, blitz spirit and all that. That's what we need, don't we?
That's it.
We will come out of this year.
But you haven't. I mean, obviously, when we're on a lockdown, your routine hasn't changed.
Nothing. The biggest difference for me, mate, is the pub was shut, and that was it. That was it. That was the only difference. Still working every day.
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
Just to say that, because saying about pubs, because I asked you before about counselling. How do you cope with all seeing horrific things every day through deaths of children and stuff like that? What was your way of coping with stuff like that?
So you kind of, like we said before, you see them as a problem, but it's still in there, isn't it? It's still there, and you just kind of put it away. And I can drive to a house 10 years after I've last been there, and I don't know how it happens, but I'll walk in and I'll say, I've been here before. I know you. I know this. I remember that from 10 years, and it happens all the time. But so you put stuff away. You know, for me, the best sort of counselling is to just have a chat with your mates. I've got a lot of mates who don't do my job. They're all builders and joiners and plumbers and gardeners and stuff. I have a chat with them and kind of detach and sort of relax. You know, I won't say you don't look for the solution at the bottom of a pint glass. You know, it's not there to solve a problem, but going for a pint with the lads and just having a relax is how I dealt with it. But obviously, in lockdown 1 especially, everything's shut. Didn't see any mates. Pub shut. Everyone's in the house. Yeah. Day after day after day after day in work. With no living on my own. Things started to sort of get a bit. Yeah, things started to get a bit heavy for a bit, but then, you know, met someone else, things got good. Yeah. Fortunately.
But you could see where, as you said, with the suicide increasing, people on their own, they can't deal with stuff like that.
I can see I think you have to have a certain kind of brain. I can see why alcoholics become alcoholics. I can see why drug addicts become drug addicts. I can see why people commit suicide as well. Having been, I won't say it was, I'd thought about it at one point. I'd thought about it. I would never have done it, I don't think, because of my kids and stuff, but I thought about it. I can see how people get there. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that one.
That's
That's
right,
brave.
yeah.
I mean, I've contemplated myself, you know,
Yeah.
but I never had the guts to do it, you know,
Yeah.
which...
There's always something, isn't there, to live for, your kids, your family. Yeah.
There's hope.
Yeah.
There's hope. So,
Yeah.
we're now, that's, to be honest with you, if there's any comments that you want to leave down below on the YouTube,
Yeah.
but he'll kindly answer them, you know.
Yeah, of course, not a problem.
Brilliant. Okay, well, stand by for part 4, and we'll do some funny stories being on your job, if there's any. Take care.